This is a good opportunity for me to bring in Morgan Harper because she's an attorney based in Ohio. Morgan, you're going to have to help me with something. I heard the arresting officer, when asked by some of the press, right there as he's being marched to the cruiser, why are you arresting that reporter? And she said, failure to comply. There was no resist arrest charge. The two charges were disorderly conduct and criminal trespassing. Can you give me a navigation through why, if she said failure to comply, these were the resulting charges?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we know that in the moment, it's very common for law enforcement officials to say things that may later prove to be not exactly accurate. And this does seem to be one of those examples, given that the later charges are, as you've already been discussing, for something different than what was said to the camera at that moment. And so, there's some confusion here, and where there's confusion, there usually is something that has gone wrong. And the fact that we also think Evan may be released suggests that perhaps they got it wrong in this case. But all the video evidence that we've seen also seems to suggest that not only was he not resisting, but he, as a journalist, wasn't doing anything wrong in being at the site of a press conference.
Aha, that's the other critical question. The way I saw it play out, and I'm not, I had camera eyes. I didn't have on-site witness eyes. That's not me. I saw that on live television, he said, I'm being asked to wrap it up. And within 20 seconds, he was off the air, exactly as he reported. I'm just watching to see if that's Evan coming out of the jail. Nope, it's not. Okay. We've got the live shot of the jail. Sorry, Morgan. So I'm just watching. I want our viewers to know exactly what's happening as it's happening. He's going to come out, hopefully, at any moment and talk to us. Anyway, he said on the air, I'm being told to wrap it up, so I'm wrapping it up. Nicole Burley said, thank you, Evan. And within about 40 seconds, he was, being pushed down to the ground in cuffs, and my time may be off. He said on tape, I could hear him, I have to do my job. I'm just doing my job. But they were already telling him to leave. So what's the law regarding a reporter who is speaking in a hushed tone during a live news conference when an officer says you have to wrap it up? What does the law allow those officers to do if they don't like how quickly he wrapped up the report?
Well, it just doesn't even seem like we get to the point of assessing what's appropriate behavior from law enforcement when we still are in the context of a journalist doing his job. He isn't creating any disturbance in this space, and it is a sanctioned press conference organized by the governor. I just don't really understand how this could be leading to an arrest. The other thing I would note is Mike DeWine is one of the most powerful people in the state of Ohio. And so if he wants this to go away, he will. If he wants to arrange for all of the procedures to happen to make sure that Evan's released as quickly as possible, he can do that. And I will also say that the Attorney General of Ohio has the ability to oversee other levels of law enforcement. And it seems like a wrongful arrest might be in order here once he's released a suit that he might want to pursue. So,
all those things you just said, I've got 10 questions that come out of it. The first one is, though, Evan's been in jail for 4.5 hours or so. Mike DeWine knew within 30 minutes that this had happened and gave an apology publicly. The wheels of justice are always slow, Morgan, but the kid's been in jail, for the better part of 5 hours. What does it take for the governor to what you said? He's very powerful, and if he wants to wave a wand, he can get him out of jail. What would that actually take to effectuate a release, the processing, the actual formula to release him from the jail? Because you hear a news conference that he's apologized for it. It's not the same as actually stamping the document.
Yeah, I mean, the wheels of politics can move very quickly, and Mike DeWine is a master of them in Ohio politics. And so, I do want to make that very clear here. And, there's been reference of the need to get a magistrate. Of course, in smaller counties, there are fewer magistrate judges that would be available to be able to process a dismissal of charges or, whatever the case might be. But you can make things happen that you want to have happen, especially when you are Mike DeWine. And that certainly seems to be something that he should be exercising here. I'll also note that how wild that we have a reporter being arrested in an incident related to this train derailment by Norfolk Southern before anyone connected to that company that is responsible for disrupting the lives of thousands of people in East Palestine, Ohio, is ever facing any kind of direct accountability.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.